I want to start by asking a rhetorical question here. Does Donald Trump have any friends left? Of course, the answer is he's got a few, but certainly not as many as he once had, and to be honest, not even as many as he had 2 weeks ago. This past week, a group of rabbis in the United States who hold an annual call with the president, regardless of who that president is, decided that this year they were going to cancel the call. They did that because of Donald Trump's disgusting response to the violence that took place 2 weeks ago in Charlottesville. Furthermore, members of Donald Trump's infrastructure council resigned earlier this week, again in response to his response to the attacks in Charlottesville, as well as I think a little bit had to do with the things that he said during his rally in Phoenix. Scientists this week abandoned the White House again. They resigned their posts because they couldn't take the administration's constant assault on climate change, something we've seen a lot of from the scientific community since Donald Trump took office. We have Catholic nuns out there calling out Republicans. Independents are starting to abandon Trump, and that is the group that he needed in order to win, because luckily there aren't enough white supremacists in this country to solely pick the president. Without those independents, there's no possible way Donald Trump could win re-election. Polls show that a majority of Americans are ready to begin impeachment proceedings. Republicans in Congress aren't willing to say that Donald Trump will be their nominee in 2020. John Kasich polls better than Donald Trump in head-to-head polls in a Republican primary for 2020. Bernie Sanders beats Donald Trump in a head-to-head match for president in 2020. Do you see where I'm going with this? There is no one left to defend Donald Trump, unless, of course, you count the folks at Fox News. But that's not enough to sway voters anymore, because earlier this week, MSNBC became the most watched cable network in the United States for the first time ever. There's nobody left. The White House has stopped sending out their goon squad to TV shows because even they can't come up with a cogent response on how to deal with the president's actions. People are resigning from this administration left and right. Donald Trump is alienating everyone. A lot of it recently has to do with his response to Charlottesville, but this was happening even before that. And it's only gotten worse since then. Donald Trump's list of allies is dwindling. And pretty soon it's going to be down to 0. We might even see a day when Kellyanne Conway herself has to say, you know what, enough's enough. I can't physically do this anymore. It's only a matter of time. And the reason this is important is because when we have such an incompetent, insecure, narcissistic president at the helm, the 25th Amendment starts looking like a real possibility. If Congress decides to invoke that, if Mike Pence decides to invoke that, and if Donald Trump continues to alienate all of his allies in this country, especially those in Congress, it's going to be very easy to remove him from office. And trust me, I want that more than anyone. But I'm just talking about from Donald Trump's own perspective, not a real smart move. You're proving that you're really not a smart guy. You should start embracing your friendships. Maybe tone down the rhetoric a little bit. Maybe stay off Twitter for a couple days. Because the more the public sees you, the more they get to know you, the more they read your tweets, the less they like you. CEOs have abandoned you. Rabbis have abandoned you. Catholics are abandoning you. Millionaires and billionaire donors of the Republican Party has abandoned you. Independents have abandoned you. And about 20 to 30% of the Republican Party has abandoned you. Maybe it's time you stop calling that fake news and understand that you are actually the problem. If you're thinking about subscribing to our channel, I strongly encourage you to do that. But if you're not thinking about subscribing, I would encourage you to start thinking about it, and then once you're thinking about it, actually go and do it. You can see the subscribe button right there on the screen, or if you're watching on a different platform, go to youtube.com/theringofFire.